Since I got the wig, I posted a picture on Facegram, and my friends were like, "Oh my God, it makes you look 20 years younger. It's great." I'm like, "Okay, I'm wearing it every day now."
2012, I myself was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I visited a wig store, and it was once again not a very good experience. And as I left that wig store, I thought, I'm definitely, when I feel better, I'm going to open up a wig store. So 2 years later, in 2014, I opened with Grace Wigs and Salon, and I was hesitant for many reasons because I being around cancer patients is kind of it's an emotional experience, and I myself going through it didn't really want to. I kind of wanted to put that behind me. And about 70% of our business, believe it or not, are just people who go through hair loss for no reason at all. They just have fine thin hair, or they've taken a drug for another, not necessarily for cancer, that has caused hair loss. And so we're able to help a lot of people with the wigs.
I'm 72, and I came to talk to Rhonda because my thinning hair was bothering me, probably more than it bothered other people, but we're all pretty vain about something. Like when it blows and see the scalp, I'm not happy with. It makes me feel old and bald. I've always had really, really long hair, and it's always been really, really thick. I had heart surgery 4 years ago, and I've had a lot of heart procedures since, and that's what has started the thinning process. And of course, heart medicines are notorious for thinning your hair as well. Yeah, see, that's
See the
better.
difference?
Oh, yeah. I thought maybe a topper or some kind of wig or something, and might give me the confidence that I wanted, but this spray she just showed me was pretty good.
One of the things that I really wanted to do that I noticed from going to other wig stores is they didn't have a private room. And when you go through hair loss or you have fine thin hair, you don't necessarily want to walk into a place that's just open to the public. So you're still wearing your wig. Your hair's just starting to grow out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is it staying on pretty good for you?
Yeah. I don't
Not
have
wearing
any
a wig?
issues with
Not
it.
wearing a wig grip?
So, when I was 36 years old, I felt a lump in my right breast, and within 2 weeks, got a diagnosis of stage 4 breast cancer, which there is no cure of. They found breast cancer in my breast and in my bones, and it's been over 5 years since my diagnosis. And since I've had my breast cancer spread into my liver, where there's quite a bit of cancer, I've been on 16 different treatments throughout the past 5 years, different chemos and other drugs as well, just to try to keep the cancer from spreading further. Sometimes the cancer shrinks, sometimes it does spread, but it is something I'll live with the rest of my life. There's no cure.
With your hair back. Yay.
Looks so natural.
Yeah.
Seriously, like people are like, that's a wig.
I know.
Well, my hair didn't grow magically overnight.
People don't really, it's so funny. I have clients that come in, they're like, I want my hair to look exactly like the wig, and so nobody will tell, like the color and everything. I thought, really, people don't pay that much attention to us.
No, no. If you don't have it on, they sure do.
They do if you don't have it on, that's for sure.
Why would she cut her hair like that? Well, I didn't. It fell out. It just helps me feel more like myself. Looking in the mirror and seeing, and when I used to have long dark hair, looking in the mirror and seeing a bald head or not much hair like this is still really weird to me. And being able to put a wig on just helps me look like myself. I think my wig I have from here is better than my old hair was. So,
I do too. Lisa, that looks super cute on you.
I like it.
Okay, you can drop your masks so you can kind of. Okay, that looks just like your hair before it fell out.
I didn't want to look like a cancer patient, and for 4 years or so, I didn't feel like I looked like one. I still had my hair, I still had my eyelashes, I still had my eyebrows. a lot of people that would look at me never would have guessed that I had stage 4 terminal cancer just looking at me. When you don't have your hair, though, that's a whole nother story. They know something's up. Most people don't choose this hairstyle or to be bald when they're a girl. To wear, I don't really have to fix anything. I could curl it if it's straight if I wanted to, or straighten it if it's curly, but usually I just throw it on and it looks great. It's definitely easier than real hair. And it actually is real hair. It's real human hair. But what I mean, it's easier to take care of and just put on and go than if I had to fix my hair.
Really, the one difference is if they're synthetic or if they're human hair. If they're human hair, you're going to wash that with human hair shampoo. Synthetic ones, you would use a particular shampoo for synthetic wigs. I've been a hairdresser for 30 years. So I started when I got out of high school, but working here with Grace Salon, I work 2 days a week, but I have clients that I cut their hair, but I also cut, style, and color wigs for people with thinning hair, no hair, or other ailments that'll cause them to not have hair. I kind of enjoy the toppers. I mean, they're smaller, so it's not quite as time consuming to do them. But there's more involved with the toppers because you've got to color it to blend with their hair. So with the wig, they're just putting it on and it's covering everything. So I don't have to be spot on when I color it. And the toppers, sometimes you've got to, we root them. So sometimes they want multi-tones in it. They don't just want it all one color. They may want it highlighted, some want it rooted, so it kind of looks like it's growing out. That's kind of, this one is somewhat rooted. See where it's darker? So that's a rooted wig, or a topper. So yeah, so the toppers I find more challenging. They give me a little bit more to do.
I inherited, along with my blue eyes from my mother and my grandmother, female pattern hair loss. I used to have a lot of hair, like a lot of hair, like 80s big hair. And I was a teenager in the 80s. Well, you can't have big hair as you continue to lose hair on top of your head. I came and met Rhonda, and she fitted me and my mother for a wig. And so I wore the wig some, but I have a lot of hair, enough hair everywhere else but on top. And so I decided probably about 2 months ago to get a topper. So now I wear a human hair topper, and I am a natural redhead, and so my hairstylist now dyes my hair to match the topper. If you had hair that you liked, if people noticed you because of your hair, when you're a redhead, people notice you because there are fewer redheads. And if your hair was something that you enjoyed fixing or doing different things with, you can't do that when you start losing it. And so I think hair loss, especially among women, it's taboo. It's something that people don't really talk about. I mean, they know it's there, and so a lot of people don't know that there's help for them.
Sometimes people refer to it as I've heard this a lot. People say, oh, it's just hair. Like when you lose your hair, it's just hair. Well, it is not just hair. I see people that when they come in and they take off their scarf or take off their hat, they look totally different. There is beauty inside, but when we look at people, we judge people by their outside appearance or their outward appearance. And that's how people look at us, and that is something that people see is our hair. And so yeah, it does change a way a person looks by not having hair as opposed to maybe having hair. This is the wig that you've been wearing, and it's, once again, it's that monofilament, has the lace front, all hand tied, same color. Of course, it's straight out of the box, so it's not been
a little bit unruly.
It hasn't been styled or anything.
In August 2016, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is a kind of cancer. It does not have a cure, but it is treatable. And so for the last 4+ years, I've been in treatment for it. I came here shortly after my diagnosis, knowing that I'd be in treatment soon and would lose my hair. I talked with Rhonda, and we ordered my first wig.
I'm going to pull that back just a little bit. It's still a little bit forward too much. Okay, there you go, Martha.
Okay. The first time that I met with my doctor, I guess he could tell how much I cared about my grandchildren, and he said, "You will live to see these grandchildren grow up." When I came home and I had my wig here, I had my regular hairdresser just shave my head, and that way I didn't have to worry about it, because when it's just coming out, it's it's hard. The funny thing was, my granddaughter, who was at that time 3, the hairdresser let her help hold the clippers, and she laughed the whole time. She thought it was so funny that she was taking off my hair.
They typically come in, I see them about every 3 months. So yeah, I mean, every time I wash it out for them, I mean, they're really excited, or I'll try and talk to them about maybe styling it differently. And that really gets them excited. Since they don't get washed very often, about every 2 to 3 months, the baking soda helps get rid of some of all the extra hairspray buildup. I try and take the time to show them how to style it themselves. I mean, I can blow it out and make it look great, but I want them to be able to do it too. So I'm actually blow drying it. I'm using hot air at first, and then I go over it with a cold shot of air from the dryer, which allows it to kind of curl like it's on a curling iron. That's why I'm getting these big fluffy curls. When they tell me that, hey, I fluffed up my hairpiece all on my own at home, I mean, that's really exciting for me, because it's my job to not only do their hair, but to educate them on how to do it themselves. I look at people, how not being able to wear a trendy hairstyle is so confining and restrictive, and they're wearing their bangs really short because they break off or they just don't have any hair. And then you give them the freedom of being able to wear a hairpiece so that they get the hair that they want. I always tell them that you're wearing your hair the way you are because you have to. Now you get to wear your hair the way you want to.
The only time I don't wear it is if I'm going to be doing something strenuous, working out, and that kind of thing, and then I don't wear it. One thing I did before COVID hit is I'm an avid swimmer. I used to swim several miles a week, and so I had cut my hair really short because of that, because it was after work, and then during the winter time, I have a lot of hair. My natural hair is very thick. If you don't dry your hair before you leave the gym, it will freeze. And I have so much hair that, it takes 40 minutes to get it dry. And I'm not sitting there for 40 minutes trying to dry my hair, so I can just go home. So that's, I cut it off really short. With COVID hitting, I was laid off my job. I have extensive background with IT, was able to get interviews right and left, no problem. But as soon as they saw me, I'm 60. And without the hair to cover up the fat cheeks and all that stuff, I wasn't getting any offers. So that's when I came here with Grace, and I said, let's try seeing what we can do with the wig to maybe hide some of this in my face and just make me feel more confident. Very next interview, I landed the job. Because I'm feeling so much better about myself, I want to do everything that I should be doing for me. I have a tendency to put things off for myself to take care of others. But I've realized that if I take care of myself, then I can take care of others that much better.
Our immediate reaction to people is, the outward appearance, and we get to know them and we see their inside beauty. But I think it's important. I think it's important for people to feel good about themselves, and fortunately, wigs and hair pieces and toppers do that for people.
We have a couple of gentlemen that come in as well, and we have one that drives over an hour every 4 weeks, and we replace his topper, take it off, and so forth. And he said that the amount of confidence, because he's also a teacher and owns a gym and stuff, that the amount of confidence that it gives him. Even though it's a hassle to drive a little over an hour every 4 weeks, he wouldn't change it for the world. So, I guess when you have hair, you don't really think about how much it defines you, but it really does. It does define you.
She has gotten so incredibly knowledgeable about from the ground up. I mean, she's traveled, she's taken classes, she's always on internet looking and learning, that I think she gives us a lot of different options, and I think that's the key, really, is the options of what we think is best for us.
I always felt like people knew I was wearing a wig. So I thought there's got to be other stuff out there, and I wanted to kind of explore the wig business. So I traveled to New York, California, Georgia, Texas, and learning about wigs. And then in 2014, I opened with Grace Wigs and Salon.
I've never had hair issues. No one in my family ever has. The only person I ever knew that had hair issues was Rhonda. I worked with her in another salon and kind of watched her go through that process. And that's kind of what drew me into it, was her.
I think it's always wise to remember that your hair is your hair, and it's hard to lose it, particularly as a woman. But it's important to remember that the treatment you're going through that causes the hair loss is what's going to save your life. And that's what we all want, is to keep living and continue to see our families grow.
When I was first diagnosed, I was told that I would have approximately 2 years, and it's been over 5. The biggest thing that I can tell people is just don't give up. There are people that go on to live way longer. There are people that live less. But no matter what, don't give up hope. Don't waste your time being upset about little things. Live your life. Try to do as much as you can while you can. There are things now that I wish I had done differently, because I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel more and more tired, and just different things I can't do now that I wish I had done earlier on in my diagnosis. Just live every day as much as you can.
Go for it. Come in to With Grace here. Try them on. See what you think. Give it a try. For me, it has boosted my self-confidence so much that I couldn't be happier. I'm glad I came.
You don't have to live with hair loss. You don't have to feel self-conscious when you're out in the public or with your friends looking at their hair and thinking their hair looks so great and why are you losing yours, because there is somebody who can help you.
I absolutely feel like this is my calling, and it's just because of my journey that I was on. I never expected to. No one does. No one likes the diagnosis of having to go through treatment and lose their hair. And I didn't really think I could do it. I really thought it might not, I wasn't going to be able to handle it. But by the grace of the good Lord and by supportive friends and family, it is absolutely something I'm called to do. And I enjoy it, and I'm good at it. And, I think you're put on a journey for a reason, and this just happens to be my journey. And I mean, it is what I'm here to do.